right, good night and welcome to this first division class here at the Stockholm Technical Center. Match between the Kensborough Sports Club and Bathurst. And I'm joined in commentary by the one and only Gavin Reisman Richards.
Well, good night, Kareem. Good night to the viewers on the DFA's Facebook page, Joe's on YouTube. Of course, another exciting game in the Division 1 League. Bathurst State, more or less on top of the points table. Kensborough trying to make up some ground, trying to solidify their position for the round of 16.
Right, we can give you the starting lineups of both clubs as we get ready for this thrilling encounter we have for Kensborough. Rowan Anthony, Bernard Malvosin, Frank Joseph, Everson Ja Luby, Maynard Stevenson, Cotley Franklin, Bernard Ostry, Kernish Jajak, Sherwin Gregoire, Jeffrey Altador, and Lefwenzi Curzan. And Matthew Alexander starting off that start in 11 for Kensborough. And for Bathurst State, we have Sachin Thomas in goal. We have Nikan Benoit, Eustace Marshall, Nia Lee, Chance Marshall, Anthony Frederick, Kenrick Walter, Chance Marshall, and it seems to be...
It looks like the players are just gathering there. I suspect it might be in recognition or remembrance of the late Cuthbert Alcid, more commonly known, more affectionately known as Long Coffee, passed away a few weeks ago.
Very good moment here from the both clubs.
And of course, he was a former Kensborough player, former national player. So we just have a moment of silence.
All right, and after that display of solidarity between the both teams, we're getting ready for the action here this evening, Gavin. We have Bathurst State in their lime green kit, neon yellow shorts with the matching socks, and we have Kensborough after so many years pulling out a new kit here this evening. Same maroon design with the blue accents, maroon socks, and we're getting ready for the kickoff here. Sorry for the late start, a few technical difficulties, and we're off ball with Bathurst State, and they'll be attacking the northern goal with Kensborough attacking the southern goal, and the ball with Eustace Marshall early as he brings it across to Michael Theophil to Walters. Walters in for the center through Omari. Omari powers through. Theophil. Walters dropping deep to receive the ball. Almost in a false nine. Walters with the long ball forward to Chance Marshall. Marshall brings it under control. Marshall tries to find Frederick. Goal! And first attempt of the game. 43 seconds on the clock. And Bathurst State scoring in the first minute of the game. And there's that trademark celebration. For those who may not know, that the Bathurst State kit has the map of Bathurst State on it, and that's Anthony Frederick, a Bathurst State born and bred boy, just pointing there on his home street.
Well, lovely football, Kareem. I mean, Kensborough did not even get an opportunity to touch the ball. And a real classic goal there from Bafferstate. Anthony Frederick just showing us why he's one of the highly rated midfielders and finishers in Dominica's football. But the build-up for that play was just excellent. And it's a perfect start for Bafferstate.
And the game resumes. Kensborough on the ball, but quickly losing out to Bafferstate. And they can go again, back. Field into the center. Marshall spreads a pass. Good take by Nikon Benoit. Benoit to Eustace Philip. Nia Lee back on the ball. I think it's going to be a long night for Kensborough, Gavin.
Yes, looks like they will be chasing the ball for the majority of the game. The mood that Bafferstate looks in tonight. And I had a brief chat with the coach just before they started the game. He said goals is not his concern tonight. He's looking to play, some good football, improve on his quality, on his brand of football as he gets set for the round of 16.
And obviously just bringing the ball back there again to Eustace Marshall. Marshall spreads it wide. Benoit. Good take by Benoit. Benoit playing in. Philip trying to return to Benoit. The touch a bit heavy. And Kensborough can get on the ball. And that's the foul. That's the first foul of the game.
Yeah, a bit too heavy there with that challenge. It also gives Kensborough a break, a much needed break, because they haven't seen much of the ball so far in this game. But you can see how quickly Bafferstate have dropped back into that shape.
Also, Mary Talbot committing that foul. Kensborough on the ball. Clearance completed there. But harmlessly out of play, and will be a goal kick. And the goalkeeper, Sachin Thomas, just retrieving that ball. That'll be the only sweat he gets to take.
Well, he'll be hoping so. He'll be hoping that his defenders and even the holding midfielders will do what they have to do, give him the protection that he needs. He can have an easy day at the office. The Kensborough team coming off a win over the Wayne George Academy last weekend, so results have been in their favor the past few games there. So, but
there's Kensborough with a total of 9 points, putting them firmly, I believe, in 6th place in the table. Yeah, 6th place in the table.
But they will still want to try and get as many points as possible to try and finish as high up the table as possible as we get set for the round of 16.
Good interception there by Kensborough. Trying to play a ball forward, but easily marshaled there by Eustace Marshall. Benoit.
Bit of miscommunication there with Kerrick Walter. But the ball still deep in the half of the Kensborough team, and Bafferstate sort of trying to look a high press, trying to win it back. And they've done so, Kareem. Back to the keeper.
Wide to Benoit. Omari. Lee, one of those all-action, just Rolls-Royce midfielders. Ball forward. Chance Marshall. Marshall. Tries to get across the goal. Walter slips. Philip on the far end and can't make anything of it. It's out of play for a goal kick and wasted opportunity for Bafferstate.
Yes. Good work from Chance Marshall. Able to bring down that long ball. And that was a very decent cross as well from Chance Marshall into the box. And Walter just lost his footing. And Philip couldn't keep it in on the near side.
Good clearance. And there's the onrushing Kensborough player. And he actually gets there. Opportunity still. And shot blocked by Marshall.
I think Marshall probably just switched off for a moment there. Allowed the Kensborough forwards in.
That was Kernish Jacques gave the opportunity. And I mean, Gavin, as we speak, we're talking a lot about what might be a long night for Kensborough. And Buffett giving away the ball. Opportunity, side netting. I was just saying, Gavin, that we're talking a lot about this might be a long night for Kensborough and the dominance of Buffett State, but I mean, stranger things have happened. We've seen
Yes.
really big teams losing to what we'd like to call minor teams in other divisions.
Yes, I mean, I remember in the days of when the DFA would have the All Island League and the Intermediate League, and you would have sometimes a little friendly match and a team down in the All Island League might just knock off a Premier League team. Like what we saw this week, on the big stage.
You had Manchester United crashing out of the League Cup to Grimsby in the second tier, League Two of
League
English
Two.
football. As
Yes.
that short corner is played quickly there by Buffett State. Coming in, clearance, somewhat completed. Nikon Benoit gets onto it. Chance Marshall. Marshall plays the ball forward. All the way across to Walters. Walters squares it back across goal. And Eustace Marshall puts it into the net to put Buffett State up by 2-0. 8 minutes on the clock.
Well, easy pickings there for Buffett State. I don't think Marshall will get an easier goal like that in his career. A gift in August.
Eustace Marshall, one of the few players that I would want to say has the distinction of being on the national team while still playing in the first division.
Yes, of course, and he stuck with his club. I know he would have had opportunities, before the Buffett State were probably relegated. Maybe that he would have looked to have gone somewhere else. He decided that if the club is going down, he, as the captain, he's going down the ship, and he's going to try his best to bring them back up. And so far, so good for the Buffett State team. First place in the point standing so far.
Yes, first place in the point standing, undefeated. Only dropping points to a draw. Now Lee on the ball. Lee locked out.
But sometimes, Kareem, what you find happening when you have such a gap in terms of the quality of the two teams, that the better team might sort of switch off or be a bit complacent. We saw that from Buffett State a few moments ago when there was a bit of a mix-up with Eustace Marshall and some poor passes at the back. So they have to be careful, Buffett State.
Yes, Buffett State does have to be careful because this Kensborough team is showing some signs of life despite being 2-0 down, and it would be easy for them to just break through as you have the centre back just being picked, trying to put that ball forward to Kenrick Walter, but stopped out again by the veterans of Kensborough.
I believe the next goal or two will probably be very crucial in this match. It will probably really dictate how this match will probably end.
Yes, for sure. That's Anthony Frederick. Frederick bodied off the ball foul. And it's good to see Anthony Frederick really enjoying his football. One of the more talented players in Dominica.
Yes. Real number 10, as he has a number on his back.
And that's Eustace Marshall trying to find Chance Marshall, his cousin. Omari on the cover there for Kensborough. And the ball signaled to have gone out of play on the far side from the line officially as the AR2 on that far side there. As the game continues to go through its paces. So 2-0 in favor of Buffett State for those just joining us late in the broadcast.
Yeah, we had Marshall and Anthony Frederick getting the goals for Buffett State. Bath State in more or less in the driver's seat.
Yes, more or less. But I mean, Kensborough have had a few opportunities, a few half chances, if you will. Ball
Oh,
forward, doesn't find Eustace Phillip. Benoit. Benoit coming forward. Benoit stopped.
throwing for Bath State. Just a bit back on that, a few plays before that attempted pass from Anthony Frederick. That was a goal-saving touch that the defender had gotten in because Philip would have been in on goal. He was fully stretched.
Frederick blocked out. Lee gets in there. Ball put out of play. No foul call there despite the calls from the Kensborough players. And despite the Premier League being done, we have a lot of football action still on the cards here for the viewers on the DFA Facebook page and YouTube. Tomorrow we have a full day of action starting at 10 a.m. with the U15 League. We have Calibishi versus the Harlem Academy. We have Southeast versus Dubla at 3 p.m. in the Lapland playing field. We have at Castleberry's playing field, First Division, Warner versus Kalinago Warriors. And then at the DFA Technical Center, oh, that's a great touch by Philip, but just a bit too hard there. Philip turning on the glitz and the glam. Ball forward, out of play. And it's going to be Kensborough's ball.
Philip has looked quite promising in this game so far. Looks like he'll cause a handful there on the right side.
And just as you mentioned, Philip is signaling to the bench. He seems to be in a bit of discomfort.
Looks like he's touching the back of his hamstring. Let's hope it's not anything too serious for Bath State's sake.
And that's a great ball forward there by Anthony Frederick into Kendrick Walters. And Walters losing his foot in there again. And just to finish off the action tomorrow, we have Marigot United FC versus St. Joseph LFC and the Wayne George Football Academy against the Do It Center Mighty Avengers on Saturday. That's at 5 and 7 p.m. On Sunday, we have South City's women's and men's team on display at the Stockton Technical Center between Maho Soccer Strikers and All Saints FC, respectfully. We have more from the Women's Premier League with South East versus Roosevelt Scarlet Portsmouth Bombers and Harlem United FC versus Goodwill Runners on Sunday again in the Women's Premier League.
A lot of football action.
Almond Park. And just to round off that action on the Sunday, as that cross comes in, held by the goalkeeper there of Kensborough, is RC Doctors versus Exodus in the Division 1 at the Lapland playing field, 4 p.m. and Calibishi FC versus LA Stars FC, 6 p.m. Lapland playing field.
So not just a lot of football, but football being decentralized as well. Some big games in Lapland. So I know the Southeast and the East communities will come out in their numbers. You know how football is a big thing up there.
Yeah, the games at Lapland are usually very well attended. And it brings some much needed economic activity
Yes.
to those places as well. Because, you know, anytime, like, for example, when any of the tongue teams heads to Lapland, you know, guys walk with money to be able to purchase, you know, from the vendors up there, whether they before the game or after the game.
Meantime, we have an injured player down for Kensborough. It doesn't look like it's very good news. Seems to be getting up though. Should be able to maybe just walk it off.
We still have Eustace Philip down actually receiving some treatment, but I think his substitution is prepared. And it looks like we're going to see the early introduction of Marvin LeBlanc. to Baffert State. So Baffert State forced into a first half substitution. Eustace Philip forced off with what looks like to be a hamstring injury. And Marvin Libla coming on. I don't think that's any good news for
Not at all.
Kensborough.
But also for Baffert State, with the round of 16 soon approaching and hamstring injuries, you know that these can take a few weeks to fully recover. I'm not too sure of the extent of that injury. And if Eustace Philip is unavailable for Baffert State, that's I wouldn't say a major setback, but it's a blow for them.
Well, as a coach, you always like to have your full arsenal of players available to you to pick from. As Kensborough look dangerous coming down the right-hand side, Kensborough get the ball across, and it's almost cleared off the line by the Kensborough player. But still a bit of danger.
Well, chances for Kensborough.
Cross coming in, and the goalkeeper, Sashin, just getting there in the end. And again, Kensborough showing that they can get in and it can happen. I'm wondering how many Grimsby fans are on the Kensborough team.
Oh. Before Wednesday, I had no idea who Grimsby was.
Well, you don't know.
I don't know. Quite sure Manchester United does as well.
Lee into Walters. Frederick trying to find Lee, and it's an own goal.
Well, nothing much the defender could have done there, because that was a brilliant pass from Anthony Frederick. And defender tried his best. I think maybe he probably used the wrong foot, maybe.
No, but I think the pass just caught him off guard. That's Jeffrey Altidore, the defender for Kensborough, just the unfortunate recipient of that own goal. And it's 3-0 in favor of Baffert State. 20 minutes have not yet passed on the clock.
Looks like we could be in for a long night, Kareem, if you're a Kensborough supporter. 3-0 down. And another chance again, but looks like the keeper, well, he's giving it away. I think the player could have just taken his time there, Kareem.
And that was an opportunity there for Nikwan Benoit, just rushing the opportunity. And it's Kensborough on the ball.
Down 3-0, Kareem. I think at some point in time, Kensborough might have to wave the white flag and look to see if they can do some damage control. You don't want to, well, you're very going to lose the 3 points, but you don't want to, concede too many goals that it comes back to haunt you with your goal difference.
Yeah, and goal difference is very important in these groups. It's actually very tight at the foot of the table. We actually have 2 teams in the Southern Zone separated by 1 goal, one in 9th place and one in 8th place. And as well, maybe not as our viewers may know, but as we know, Gavin, it's the top 8 teams in each group going through. So those goals, imagine missing out on a playoff berth because of goal difference.
That's
and
right.
Then you start going back and thinking about some of the city goals you might have conceded and some of the games that you could have managed better.
Yeah, so I think Kensborough 3-0 down. I think they might probably just have to switch their strategy a bit. Maybe sit back, try to defend a little bit more, and try to catch Baffert State on the odd counter if they get that opportunity. So if they continue to throw bodies forward, they will definitely concede a few more.
There's a corner for Kensborough coming in. Still a bit of danger, and the goalkeeper making a save. And Kensborough, more opportunities there.
Well, no, the flag actually has gone up.
So that wouldn't have counted, but that was Bernard Melverson on that last effort there. And Gavin, again, Kensborough are down 3. But again, in this first 20 minutes, that has 3 opportunities they've created.
3 opportunities, and I think Coach Michael Joseph probably a bit disappointed with what he's seen defensively so far, because there's been some real clear-cut chances for Kensborough. No foul, says referee Gabriel Caesar.
Ball given away in the center. Lee. Lee playing one into Walters. Heavy touch by Walters. Lee again on the ball. Lee into Libla. Libla, Metu for Charles. Libla on his feet, still gets it to Lee. Lee, wide of the mark. And it's a goal kick.
I think Lee could have done just a little bit better, but still good build-up again from the Buffett State team. So they show that they're very lethal going forward. And they've hit double digits on the score sheet already this season.
On more than one occasion, actually. Ooh, good work there in the center. Coming forward still. Kensborough. Marshall having to clean up at the back. And Kensborough don't seem out of this game, Gavin.
No, they don't at all. They're still trying their best to create chances, still looking decent going forward, but it's defensively that has been the problem for them.
Benoit. Tries to get it across. Benoit. Libla. Goal. 4 goals to 0.
Excellent work again from Benoit on the right. And put that ball, had the goalkeeper scrambling in the other direction. I think maybe the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better. But good finish again from Buffett State. Some easy tap-ins.
And that's some good work by the right back, Nico and Benoit. Just getting that ball across the face of goal with the right pace on it to allow for Libla to have that tap-in.
It's 4-0 now, so definitely Kensborough needs to rethink what they're going to be doing. This 4-0 can easily turn into 8 or 9. The mood Buffett State are looking in tonight.
If you are a betting man, 1, Walters. Walters still on another save.
Referees calling back play. Looks like there's collision between Walters and the goalkeeper, but Walters had to do a lot better than that. He was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Took too long to get the shot off, allowed the goalkeeper to sort of narrow the angles and make himself big enough. Came up with a big save.
And you expect much better from the veteran Kenrick Walters.
Definitely, with so many accolades to his name. Former national player, a champion at the local level. We know him as Doad. But I think Walters missed the opportunity to put Buffett State up 5-0.
Think you will rule that missed opportunity?
Well, I think confidence-wise, because based on how he's been playing so far in tonight's game, hasn't been the best that we've seen from him. He's had some heavy touches, some passes off the mark. He slipped at one opportunity. So I think a goal would have probably done him, good in terms of confidence. 4-0 is the score. I know some guys who got 10 last weekend.
Oh, that's in the final game of the Premier League season we had.
I wasn't going to call names yet.
We had Dubla. I think that defeated East Central by 10 goals to 1, was it?
Yes. 10-1. I wonder how his week was. 10-1 defeat, but East Central still in the hunt to remain in the Premier League. I know they have a scout in attendance tonight taking some notes on the Buffett State teams. Likely they could play Buffett State in the 9th place team, in the 9th place match.
Good work by the Kensborough player, just escaping that pressure, but lost out. Marshall escaping the pressure now. Into Walters. Walters to Lee. Lee to Frederick. Frederick trying to get that into Benoit. Lee. Lee. Dancing still. Lee. And winning a corner kick. Naeli not known primarily for his goal scoring, more of a creator.
Yes, he's trying to get the ball out of his feet. Couldn't. But still showed some good dribbling skills. Got the corner. Delivery. Attempt into the box, but struck firmly there, but not on target.
And that's for Mari there with that opportunity. As you said, firmly struck, but just rising, always rising.
So Kensborough are struggling to get out of their own half. Past minute or there so.
And for our younger audience, they would know Kensborough as just one of those teams in the first division, but the older audience would remember Kensborough for what they once were, a real giant.
Definitely.
Of Dominican football, Kensborough. Walters on the ball.
Kensborough celebrating over 50 years in the business.
Yeah, it's been one of those clubs that has been there from the get-go.
And was a stalwart in the Premier League, Dominican's top flight division, but a chance and just going wide.
I think that was Chance Marshall on that opportunity there, and Anthony Frederick pulling the strings. And a midfield of Anthony Frederick and Nia Lee is something that I think no team, neither the first division nor the Premier, necessarily want to face.
Definitely, and especially if they are able to hold on to possession. So a lot of creativity up front with Anthony Frederick and Lee, like you said. Here they come again.
Strong challenge. And it's gonna be Kensborough's ball actually.
You can see the Bafese players not too happy with that decision.
Well, I mean, I love the hunger from the Bafese team. Despite being 4-0 up with just about half an hour played, Anthony Frederick dancing, gets past two, but not the third. Ball, Walters, Benoit, Libla, trying to fashion some space to shoot, Walters! And I rose out of play to be a corner kick to Bafesit, and Bafesit just guilty of trying to walk it into the net. That reminds me of a team with a can on their logo a few years ago.
The second place specialist. Never finishing in 16.
Always the bridesmaid. Never the bride. Ball coming in. Header out. Only as far as Lee. Lee for shot blocked. Marshall. Frederick. Cross. Good cross by Frederick. Just over the head of Marshall, and good claim by the Kensborough goalkeeper.
Yes, whipped across with some good pace there from Anthony Frederick. But the attacker just couldn't get enough of it. Guided towards the goal. But still, if Buffett stayed.
Omari on the ball. To Frederick. Benoit.
You can see the space really opening up for the Buffett State team. Kensborough sort of really dropping into that deep block, inviting the pressure, defending in numbers.
Ball makes it away to Libla. And Libla just putting that high and wide. Goal kick, taking a shot by Kensborough again.
I think right now Kareem Buffett will probably just be looking to see how they can play the complete game. They would have checked the boxes in terms of getting the goals, establishing the lead early, breaking for another opportunity.
Walters on the ball. Walters trying to get around his man. Walters just not having his best game so far for the evening. And Kensborough looking to come forward. And good shadow in there by Theophil, and it's a foul. Within a foul, in fact, there. Michael Theophil, better known as Lemaik.
So just heading back to Buffett State and the boxes that they would want to check. They've done well offensively, but I'm sure they want to sort of end strong, get that clean sheet also as well, and use this game maybe to also work on the defensive setups.
Yes, for sure, because I mean, at 4-0, the game is more or less won. As you said, Gavin, just ticking the boxes, making sure that everything is in check. I think that Buffett only has one more game as a cross comes in. Marshall, with the goal at his mercy, puts the ball over the bar from point blank range.
I think he might have been a bit surprised as to the amount of space and time that he had on that ball. Should have done a lot better than that.
And Kensborough continuing to try to play out from the back despite the high pressure from Buffett State.
We haven't really seen much from Kensborough in recent times. Kareem, they started off relatively well. Referee says no foul.
Lee spreads it wide, trying to spread it wide anyway, but it makes it all the way across the Marshall through to Frederick. Frederick on the ball. Frederick with a shot, blocked. And Kensborough looking to come forward now. Wide, and the player just, with a poor touch, knocking it out of bounds. But then you have Gavin, Kensborough attempting to go on a breakaway, and 80% of the field is their team is still in their half.
And that's the point I was going to make. I think the striker might have been better off attempting to hold on to the ball and trying to give his players a chance to come forward. They're giving it away at the back again. Shot! And goes wide.
That's Libla again, opportunity wide.
So it's really been a long night so far for the Kensborough team. It's 8:15.
Ball given away to Chance Marshall. Marshall puts it into the center. The goalkeeper gets there before Libla. And Marvin Libla could have had a hat trick. Plus more so far for the night.
Well, Chance was unselfish with that last attempt. Trying to create the assist, but I think he could have gone for a goal or shot on target himself.
And again, Kensborough just unable to leave their own half. And as you said, Gaffin, they might be better served by starting to do some damage control.
Yeah, I think for the past few minutes, defensively, yes, Buffett State have had a few chances, but we've seen from the Kensborough team that they sort of, dropping into a back four, back five, and they're trying to see if they can just do some damage control. Okay, just trying to get out of their own half. They managed to do so, but can't keep on to possession. Throw in, and the throw in is taken quickly. Walters. Back to Marshall. Buffett operating in acres of space. Kept in on the far side. Another attack building up for Buffett State. And just couldn't get onto that control. Goalkeeper able to collect. Does well to keep it in. Kensborough looking to see if they can get some positives. Maybe they sort of claw themselves back into this game. Buffett State moving the ball along nicely. That's Frederick in the center, unmarked. There's a challenge. Referee seems to be happy with it. So another set piece, another corner kick for Buffett State. It's been a really good first half from them, although they'll probably be looking at the few chances that they squandered as well. Delivery into the box. Unmarked. Couldn't quite get it with enough power. No foul, says the referee. Here comes Buffett State again. Oh, lovely. Buffett State just being a little bit wasteful in front of goal. And they're getting a mouthful from their coach and assistant coach as well. It's almost like they're looking for that perfect goal. Another corner kick to defend for Kensborough. And they've defended that well, but again, not many options downfield. Kensborough, they're throwing everybody behind the ball. You can see just Kensborough not in any hurry to get the ball back in. You know that the defenders have had a lot of defending to do so far tonight. Just probably trying to buy a little second or two breather. So we are throwing for Kensborough. That was a bit of a waste for the Kensborough team, but they managed to win back the ball. Lost it again. And now options for Buffett State. Lovely ball through Walters. Walters has it, has support in the penalty area. Drives in. Attempts a cross. Oh, beautiful! Beautiful there. What a counter attack there from Buffett State. And now it's 5. Kensborough caught. They threw bodies forward on that last throwing attempt. Wasn't the best of throw-ins. Buffett State, after a few quick passes in the back, broke free. Kenrick Walters making that sprint down the right side. And a beautiful pass as well into the box. It's Buffett State 5, Kensborough 0. Robbed up the ball again. Frederick Walters, who had that beautiful assist a while ago. Play is still not broken up, but now it is. And again, Kensborough, whenever they win back the ball, just not too many options up front. They've had a lot of defending to do, so you can look at the body language of the Kensborough players, the Kensborough defenders in particular. Not too keen to go too far forward. Free kick awarded to Buffett State. Got a good foot in there. Broke up that play. Five goals in the first half. Buffett State, they're not complaining at all. Again, you can just see the Kensborough players just struggling to get to the ball. Defending really, really deep. I could see what he was doing. I could see the idea, but not the best in execution. But there's a player down for Buffett State. And I think he's going to need some medical attention. We'll resume play for drop ball back to the keeper. And Kensborough trying to play out of the back, but that press from Buffett State, they've always seemed to win back the ball. Is it Frederick? Marshall, that's lovely. Keeper came out, got a punch to it. Frederick turns. Frederick. It's going on for a throw-in for Buffett State. Setting up for a long throw. No, actually it was a bluff. And it's 1-on-3. Defender's lost his shoe, or somebody's lost their shoe. Good defensive work there from Buffett State. Back to the keeper. And that's the whistle. That's the first 45 minutes. A first half dominated by the Buffett State team. 45 minutes in the book. It's Buffett State 5. Kensborough 0. Will be right back.
And welcome to the second half here at the Stockton Technical Center as the scores are 5-0 in favor of Buffett State. 2 goals from Libla, 1 goal from Frederick, 1 goal from Marshall, and 1 goal from, trying to get the confirmation of the last goal scorer. I think that's Marshall.
Yes, Eustace Marshall.
Eustace Marshall with
Yes.
1, Libla with 2,
Anthony Frederick.
Anthony Frederick with 1. That's 4.
Nonetheless, 5-0, and
Kensborough.
Kensborough really under some pressure. Surely they'll be looking not to concede many more in the second half. Buffett State could have easily been at least 7 or 8 up at the half with some golden opportunities as well.
The referee just calibrating his watch, getting ready for the second half, and the game is off. Comeback by Kensborough, Gavin. Miraculous 6 goals in the second half.
Manchester United will advance to the next round of the League Cup.
And it's Buffett State again. That's Nikon Benoit traveling down that far side down the right hand side, but Nikon Benoit's down in some pain actually. I see him grabbing something. Might have been the ankle, but he gets up.
Oh yes, there was an own goal. That's why.
Own goal.
Yeah, I want to big up on Calvin Christopher Fanny. Always locked in, supporting his Buffett State team. Lovely ball again, but the keeper first to it.
Kensborough on the ball. Kensborough trying to play one around the corner. That's a good ball forward. Test for Theophil. Theophil facing up his man, just delaying. Ball still in the center of Kensborough. Kensborough trying to play one forward, and that will bounce harmlessly into the hands of the goalkeeper, who maybe makes a little bit of a mess of it there.
But I think the ball held up just a little bit, and it took a awkward bounce, or uncomfortable bounce, I should say, in front of the goalkeeper.
And that's Nia Lee coming forward, but the Kensborough goalkeeper quickly off his line. Playing it short again. And that's Omari. But the ball still in play. On that far side. Through the center. Buffett on the ball with Frederick. Frederick to Omari. Omari traveling. Omari shooting, block. Omari still on the ball. Trying to push it forward to Libla, but that push just a bit too hard, not weighing that touch properly. Ball out of play, it'll be a goal kick to Kensborough.
So Kareem, Buffett State trying to make that stay in the Division 1 a very short one. Relegated last season, undefeated so far in the competition.
Yeah, Buffett State always did seem too big for the first division, despite having a torrid time last time out in the Premier. They were never really out of it. They lost games, but
And they drew a
a
number.
lot. Yeah,
Yes.
but it was very tightly contested to the final day. There was the opportunity for them to beat Harlem, and then United will have to have done them a favor, and they didn't beat Harlem in that first instance, and that sealed their relegation. And no foul by the referee. For those who pushing it back there, but nonetheless, ball with Anthony Frederick, and Frederick losing out, and that's a shot, and the goalkeeper making a save.
His first real save of the evening. He had his launcher out. He was comfortable for the entire night. I think he was reading a book as well.
But kudos to him for staying sharp when that shot came in. And Gavin, the thing about when you're the team that comes down from Premier, it's very dangerous because Remember, they're in the rules that you can't transfer out of your club and go back up to Premier.
Right.
So what happens often is a lot of guys, as a corner comes in for Kensborough, clearance completed by Lee, but only as far as the centre midfielder, and Lee can complete the clearance. You are not allowed to transfer back up to Premier. So what happens is a lot of the guys who rather stay and
Yes.
try to get back into Premier. Now, what you find happening is if the Premier team, as the goalkeeper gets himself in a bit of border and concedes a corner kick, there's a lot of some kamikaze goalkeeping there from the Kensborough goalkeeper. Must be looking at Onana tapes.
I'm not too sure what he was thinking of, the goalkeeper. Luckily for him, it went out for a corner. Could have been a lot worse. But you're right, Karim, if your analysis that the players will stay with the club for at least that one season.
But then what happens is if they don't go up, that's usually where you have maybe
Yes.
not the physical death of the club, but it's
Yes.
often a state of rebuilding that has to go on.
And case in point, the Kensborough team, who went down and they couldn't come back up. And what you found happening, a number of their better players, the keeper eventually holds on. A number of their better players would have moved on to other clubs.
Yes, that's what you find happening. You saw it even season before last with LA Stars.
Yes.
They went down and then lost a lot of their players to the likes of RC Doctors and Saltico Southeast. But the action is here. And looks like Kensborough showing a bit of composure in the second half. Good move.
Frederick doing well to win back the ball. Always like it when your attacking midfielders come and show some defensive responsibilities.
Marshall losing out. That was Chance Marshall actually. Forgetting that there are more than one Marshall on the field. And the Walters losing out. But Kensborough giving it away immediately. Ball to Frederick. Frederick passing forward. Libla. Libla. To Frederick. Frederick! Ooh, just over the bar. Anthony Frederick for a good attempt there.
Yes, good attempt from Frederick. Just didn't dip in time. And they had the goalkeeper just very cautious. Luckily for him, it went over bar.
Good composure there by the young man, Phil. Back to the goalkeeper. Thomas with a giveaway. An opportunity for Kensborough. Wasted. And that's the youngster. The youngster for Kensborough there. Number 6, Lefferson Curzan.
Curzan was among the goal scorers on the weekend against Wayne George Academy.
Just missing that opportunity there for Kensborough to get one back on and spoil that Bafeset clean sheet. But for now, the sheets are white as snow. And Anthony Frederick is on the ball, silky as ever. Gets it to Libla. Libla still. Good fight from Libla, but eventually crowded out. And that's a foul. Walters
using all of his experience there, just making sure that he got in front of the player. And will win the free kick for Buffett State in a promising position. You can look at the coaching staff of the Buffett State team. The legendary Coulson Benjamin and Michael Joseph. Coulson Benjamin will surely go down in Dominica's record books as one of the most prolific strikers in the history of Dominica's football.
And it looks like 2 substitutions.
Kareem, remember, as youngsters, you would have heard the likes of a Coco Shu and Solka Emmanuel. And as young boys, you'll be looking up to them and saying, yes, legends of the game. And there's one right before us,
Coulson
Coulson
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yeah, Bafesit making a substitution there. Looks like Giovanni Di Gallery taking the field. Coulson, as he says, one of the modern day legends.
Yes.
Still convinced he can do a job.
I still think so too. I mean, he's just 41. I still think that he can contribute, but he's decided to make way for the next generation while he coaches from the sidelines. So it's Frederick. Oh, lovely dummy there. Shot comes in into the sea or into the wall of defenders. That looked like something that came out the training ground, Curry.
Yeah, straight from the training ground and losing out to Frederick. And Frederick showing a lot of industry here this game. Unlike him, he's usually a very nonchalant, laid-back player, but Frederick putting in a lot of the hard yards this evening.
He's one of those players I can tell you, let me tell you who he reminds me of if I have to go to the international football, like a Mesut Ozil.
Yes.
That same type of body language, but a lot of skill on the ball. And you look at them and you're not too sure if they're in the game, just looking at their body language, but they're able to switch on when they need it or when they need to.
It's a beautiful ball forward. Benoit. And Benoit losing out. But I'm not sure what exactly Benoit wanted to accomplish. Given the defender is back alone in the corner, you'd swear that it was a 90-minute match and he was defending a one-goal lead.
So like you said earlier, Kareem, it's a big weekend of football. Premier League is done, but the Division 1 and the Women's League, the under 15 coming at you very quickly. Walters misses out.
And we can just confirm that Marvin Lebler, who was substituted on for the injured Eustace Phillip, has subsequently been substituted himself with an injury. So that's 2 injury concerns for Baffa State as they wind down the group stage as Chance Marshall, wide to Naili, back to Marshall. Marshall to Omari.
Will be concerning for Coach Michael Joseph. I thought for a moment that I would have been in.
And Frederick just has that ability to see passes that not even us in the commentary before the thought is there.
Oh, good to keep it in.
And you gave that good comparison, Gavin, of Mesut Ozil-esque.
Yes. Former national player is Anthony Frederick. And I believe he might just have one more run in him.
Frederick isn't old in the slightest. I think only 29, if I'm not mistaken. That's when you should be entering your prime. And despite that thunderous first half, Baffa State really unable to get anything going so far in the second half.
I think they're just in more or less cruise control, just trying to manage the game. Yes, you want to try to create some chances, but I think with the mindset that they have a 5-goal cushion, they can not really switch off, but the intensity will obviously drop.
Yes, it's one of those things that, I mean, as a coach on the sideline, you want to see your team put somebody to his sword, but at the same time, as you said, mentally, it's really difficult to get out of second gear when you're up and the other team is not necessarily pressing or providing so much of a threat. maybe if Kensborough also score a goal, that might wake up the Bafferset team. Bad ball wide with Lee. Lee puts it to Giovanni, and that's a good take by the young man on the one-time volley, just cushioning it. Maybe not getting the right power on it, but the goalkeeper making a good save nonetheless. But good technique to keep that ball down low from the youngster as that ball comes forward. And that's a good cover there by Marshall.
And what also impressed me about that last sequence from Buffett State was the build-up as well. Really, when they're knocking the ball, they're really knocking the ball well. It's just that I'm sure Coach Joseph would want to see them be a bit more ruthless, a bit more clinical in front of goal. Kensborough really dropping back, inviting the pressure.
Marshall gets it into the box. Nobody on the end of it there. That was a good ball in the center by Chance Marshall.
And like I told you just a few moments ago, the build up again, Kareem. The ball movement has been very good from Buffett State in this last spell.
And Kensborough trying to get something forward, but again, Gavin trying to get the ball forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 Kensborough players just in there, almost in their box.
Well, Anthony Frederick, like we said in the first half, Kensborough not really looking to push bodies forward. But they also have to try to be a bit quick off their lines. Shot there goes wide. Goal kick.
That was Walters with that attempt.
Seeing some activity on the Buffett State bench. So Coach Joseph will be looking to make some changes.
It's like Akiva Libla. Amongst the substitutes warming up, Giovanni George as well.
I know he's a national youth player.
One I know very well. As part of that contingent that went to the U17 qualifiers in Mexico in February. Good player, George. Maybe just a bit inexperienced at times, but that will come with more game time and as he grows into the game. Blistering pace.
I don't think the Kensborough team will be looking forward to blistering pace at this point in time because they've been defending for the entire game.
And that's what we're talking about from Anthony Frederick, losing the ball and sprinting hard.
Yes, work rate off the ball.
And eventually getting it. And for all the kids out there, that's how you do it. Silky on the ball and work hard off of it. Kensborough just barely completing a clearance. Frustration as the left half fires that ball into the stands.
I did say it was shaping up to be a long night for the Kensborough team. I'll say good evening to Clifford Selaire Bala. I know he's watching. Oh, this one is gone in. But no, the flag is. When the referee assistant had his flag up, but it's down. And let's just wait from the referee to see what he has decided. And I think the referee's given goals, so 6.
The referee's giving it. Well, we did see the flag from the linesman go up, but we weren't entirely sure.
Yeah, it went back down very quickly, so I'm not sure if the linesman thought of a call and then realize, oh no, that's probably going to be a mistake and put back down the flag.
To be honest, I've been red carded for such. If you're going to wave the flag, you need to
Yes.
wave the flag.
Yes. So it's a goal 6 now to Baffin State.
And that's Giovanni the Gallery.
Is it a goal? No, it's not a goal.
Yes, yes, it is a
No,
goal.
I was wondering, I saw the goalkeeper of the ball. I thought he was going to, I thought it was a goal kick, but no, it's a goal.
And it looks like Mr. Kensborough himself, Harris, coming onto the field.
Kensborough making some changes, but damage is already done. Prophecy going to pick up another win. I think that's for the 8th win of this season, Kareem?
Seventh.
7th win of the season.
Yeah, 7th win. That's the 8th game with one more to play against the bottom of the table club, Valley United.
Oh, they'll surely be licking their lips for that encounter.
Ball into Giovanni George. Phil.
I think Baffin State will be looking at that game against Valley as 3 points in the bag. Maybe if they were coming up against Grimsby, they would have other ideas.
Marshall. Foul.
All right, so the referees have blown an infringement. Looks like it's going to go in the favor of Kensborough.
Not much has gone in favor of Kensborough this evening, but a foul. Small victories. Just about 25 minutes left on the clock.
Could seem like an eternity for the Kensborough team. The way things are going tonight. Down 6-0. Have to make sure they win that ball because they'll be caught again on the counter.
Frederick, beautiful ball. Just well, maybe caught between the two, but that's Anthony Frederick winning that ball again. Skipping past the challenge, skipping past 2 challenges, but locked out at the last moment.
Nice, but the assistant referee has signaled a foul. So it's going to be a free kick for Baffin State, but Frederick's down, hasn't gotten up. The Baffin State coaching staff will be hoping that it's just a case of probably having the wind knocked out of him for a few moments. Surely won't want to see another injured player going down. Free kick to Baffin State, 6-0 up.
Opportunity to go 7-0 up.
Well, they're looking for more goals. The referee is doing some housekeeping, blows the whistle. Interesting that Anthony Frederick is unmarked at the top. It's into the box it comes, keeper. Gets a hand to it. And Kensborough looking to come the other way.
And again, blocked out. And nothing, Kensborough hasn't really been able to develop anything much going forward in the second half, despite some moments of good play, just unable to really generate anything positive. And that's Chance Marshall receiving a yellow card.
You can see the Buffett State supporters behind us. Kareem just trying to give their input to the coaching staff on some changes that maybe Buffett State could look at. See what.
Well, one thing I know for sure, the greatest team in the world is the Stams FC.
But looks like just been listening to them for the past few minutes. Looks like they've identified a sort of weakness on the field, particular position. Lovely turn.
Nayeli, Omari, going all the way back to Marshall. Marshall trying to find Frederick. Frederick, ooh, delicate take by Frederick.
I think if we're going to have a man of the match this evening, it's clearly going to be Anthony Frederick with the way that he's orchestrated things for the Buffett State team.
For sure.
There's a player down and seems to be in a lot of discomfort. Buffett said they're going to put it out so that the player can get some attention.
Yeah, there was a late challenge coming in from the Kensborough player, and I'm actually surprised that the referee didn't caution him. He came in a bit two-footed.
Yeah, looks like in a lot of discomfort. It's being attended to by the medics. Just a few minutes after 9 o'clock.
It looks like a few. So it looks like Giovanni George, Akiva Libla, and trying to identify the last substitute. Cleavon John Lewis coming onto the field.
That brings the end to the night for the youngster there. You can see that he's clearly struggling, but that's what the third injured player for Buffett State this evening.
And despite them being comfortable in the lead, and it's actually funny, Gavin, because I met the Buffett State medic before the game, and I was saying to her jokingly that she would not have a busy night.
Well, it's been quite the opposite.
Yes, quite the opposite indeed. And that was Libla's first involvement in the game.
Very strong there, but still able to win back. And that one sails outside. I think the follow through might have just caught the player. Throw in for Kensborough.
As we continue on this game, scores remain as they were at the halftime. 5 goals. Well, actually 1 goal scored in the second half, so it's 6 goals to 0. Ball out of play, and it's gonna be Buffett's ball. And that's Giovanni George. And Kensborough doing well to defend that time and giving it away.
Could see what he was trying, but the defender got a foot in. You can really see how this game has sort of broken down if you're a Kensborough supporter. Nothing much up forward in terms of targets to aim for. So you'd find Kensborough winning back the ball, but then very easily just conceding possession.
Buffett can just keep the ball and control the tempo to the 90th minute. That's a foul, free kick.
So Friday evening in the Commonwealth.
What would you prefer to be doing right now, Gavin?
I can tell you what I'll be doing after. Shall be heading to the bar for a drink.
Ball coming in.
Yeah, scramble there in the penalty area.
Ball makes it all the way to Marshall.
Bit casual there and robbed of possession. A rare chance for Kensborough. But outnumbered in the end. Sensible pass back to the goalkeeper. It's just Marshall. Can't keep it in, throw into Baffin State.
And you mentioned heading to the bar, Gavin, after the game. I think a few of the Kensborough players might be in need of a nightcap by the end of this exercise.
Well, they knew from the get-go that it was going to be a tough encounter against Baffin State. Another chance is building up as they looking for 7. Attack breaks down. So Kensborough, will have to head back to the drawing board. Yes, they've conceded 6 goals.
I think Kensborough will have a few more games left. Looking to see how many points they can gain from that. But at this point in time, I think that their participation in the knockout round is confirmed. They do have 3 wins on the board, so that 9 points should be enough. But how important is seeding in the second round with both rounds, 8 teams going through? If you have a good seeding, Michael, realistically, you're capable of making it all the way to the semi-finals before actually having to play what we might consider a big team in the first division, as Niall just trying to fashion some space to get the ball across. Giovanni George.
So Kareem, I think if you're finished in 6th, it's likely you'll play the team that finished in 3rd in the...
Likely. I'm not entirely sure what the structure is for the knockout round, but I'd like to believe it's something of that nature. First play in 8th, second play in 7th, etc., etc.
Kensborough will be well aware that there's some big teams in the top 3 in the other zone. Likes of St. Joseph and company.
St. Joseph, you also have
RC Doctors, I think, as well.
RC Doctors. Fonkole. I think Fonkole had the best transfer window of any team for the summer transfer window, bringing home a lot of the players, bringing up players down from the Premier Division, in fact, and really creating a strong unit over there on the hillside. So Fonkole, again, one to look at. I think they're undefeated so far. Since that break. So a lot of teams on the other side of the bracket there to look out for. Exodus as well, on that they can be troublesome.
So the referee is going to give a foul.
And that's a yellow card as well. So, Omar in the books for Baffin State. And an opportunity for Kensborough.
Winding down the game. So late in the game, Kensborough got in a free kick and well, it's a good distance out, but nonetheless, it's a set piece opportunity.
That's just about maybe 30 yards, Gavin. 30, 31, 32, thereabout.
So I think it'll take something special to test the keeper from that range. Maybe they might probably more look to see if they can get some sort of pass into the box. And there's Buffett States setting up with a three-man wall. Chance for Kensborough. And that pretty much sums up the night for Kensborough.
It's the audible frustration.
Not too sure if it was a attempted shot or misplaced pass or whatever it is, but it wasn't the best. Ball forward. Lovely, but straight to the goalkeeper.
Just about 10 minutes left in this match.
There's still a lot of time for Buffett State to get another goal or two.
Kensborough late in the game looking to try and spoil the clean sheet, but that's a strong challenge by Benoit on the far side. And some action on the Kensborough bench.
Another change for Kensborough. Late one.
And let me just, as we wind down the broadcast here, Gavin, let me ask. I've heard a few people maybe be in favor of it. I want to know your opinion on the return of the All Island or Intermediate League.
Yes, I think there's a need for it.
Because you have teams who are, yes, in the first division, as Kensborough tries to get that ball into the box. Well, yes, in the first division, but aren't necessarily competitive. And when there's no fear of relegation, they don't necessarily press to do better. So, they would come in, play the necessary amount of games as that ball might be falling for Giovanni. Giovanni just unable to bring it under his control enough to get that shot off. But as I was saying, that you would have teams that would not be pushing to get any better because there's no consequences following a poor season. So a team can theoretically go winless, and there's no necessary punishment for that other than maybe pride.
But what I would like, the main reason I would like to see the All Island League return as the shot comes in there, it's blocked, is to increase the level of competitiveness. Because there are some teams in the Division 1 that are really struggling. And if you were to put them in a conference among their peers, then you could see some better games. And then it will also increase the standard of the Division 1 league as well. Shot from distance over the bar goes.
Yeah, so I feel that that's something that the officials might be able to look at in terms of creating a better product moving forward, not just in the Premier Division, but all throughout the footballing pyramid here in Dominica. And who knows, we might see a situation where, and like you alluded to earlier, as Naya Lee creates an opportunity, Libla, back to Lee, Giovanni, George over the bar. As you said, that create that opportunity where you might have that cup magic, and
Yes.
you could have a first division or a all island team defeating a premier team on a given day. And I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen it recently this week. Some guys in red.
Giving them a grim reminder.
Yes. And Kensborough coming forward. Kensborough for shot. Cross again. And
But that was offside, yes.
offside.
Offside. The flag's gone up.
And the jubilation there for Kensborough. Cut short.
But you can see how much that goal would have meant to them because they were celebrating like they'd won the championship. Would have been a very good goal. Just that the runners missed time and offside on the far side, or on the back post.
And it's a good take there. And a good recovery challenge there by Benoit after being pinched off the ball. Did the hard work and stopped that promising attack for Kensborough. And good work from the linesman to maintain his professionalism. I mean, despite the circumstances, playing to the law of the game, puts up his flag.
Well, he was in the right position. So, can be a bit easy to sort of just switch off, not just as players, but sometimes as officials as well. When the game is already done and dusted.
Just about 5 minutes remaining in the game. So, Gavin, given all what's transpired here this evening, I think we can both unanimously say that Anthony Frederick for man of the match.
Yes, Anthony Frederick and our cameraman agrees with us as well.
That's a good pass. Opportunity. Hi. And kudos to this Kensborough team, despite being down by 6 goals, still knocking on the door, still trying, still attempting. And I mean, we've seen situations where teams give up.
So, like I said, looking for some positives to take into the next match. So, that's what Kensborough can do right now. If they get a goal, that'll even be an added bonus.
Frederick on the ball. Frederick to Lee. And honestly, Michael, Richard, Gavin, a close second in my mind for man of the match would have been Naya Lee as well.
Yes.
Ball forward. Kensborough. Clearance completed there to the dismay of the Kensborough supporters. And despite, again, we talk about Kensborough being one of those fallen giants of a club, they still maintain an active fan base. There are people who come to watch Kensborough games. As Phil tries to get a ball into the box.
But they would have been a popular Roseau team, so.
I remember a popular Manchester team. But a falling giant or a sleeping giant, I'm not sure which one you want to call it, but I think that's gone way past sleeping and into a coma.
It's really been a struggle for them in recent times.
Frederick. Foul. Frederick just doing well to keep himself between the man and the ball.
So 6-0 it is. And a chance to possibly make it 7. Anthony Frederick has a reputation for getting goals on the free kicks. It's not
Lee.
Frederick.
And that was very close there from Lee.
Good decoy. I think the entire technical center was expecting Anthony Frederick to be the one to take the effort.
Good touch. Good goal. And Giovanni, the gallery there, putting the 7th one pass. And that's a good touch by the gallery. And the youngster, I might have to fact check, but I think the gallery would be Bafest's top scorer for the season.
Oh, interested.
With his,
have to verify.
With his 2, I remember I think he scored 4 or 5 in the demolition job they did last game. That would bring his total up to 9 or so. No, not 9, 7. And the ball given away there by the Bafest goalkeeper, and just swiping at that opportunity, and Kensborough really unable to fashion anything, and there have been opportunities for them.
Yes, looks like Bafest trying their best to spoil the clean sheet. And in Kensborough, another chance. Another ball forward and another attack for Bafest keeps it in. Good cross, a chance. Keeper comes rushing out. And that ball went out of play to a goal kick.
And according to my watch, Gavin, we're into extra time. Not sure how much exactly, but I expect the referee to blow the whistle anytime for now with that 7-0 deficit.
I think the Kensborough players are probably saying this is probably the longest 90 minutes that they've had for the season. It's really been a struggle for them tonight, although
I actually think it has been. This is the most amount of goals Kensborough has conceded in one game for the season so far.
So we are at the mercy of referee Gabriel Caesar, so how long he wants to prolong this. Would be offside if he had gotten onto the end of it. Corner kick though.
And I think this should be the end of the match. Even some of the Bafest players just lingering towards the back. No real want or need to go forward.
Yeah, this probably could be the last kick of the game.
Back in. Header Lee over the bar.
Just couldn't keep it down. Good effort though.
Yeah, very good effort there by Lee. And that's the final whistle here at the Stock Farm Technical Center. 7-0 in favor of Bafest FC as they conquer Kensborough Sports Club this evening. A total display in precision, power by the Bafest Club. and that extends their lead at the top of the table in the Southern Zone in the first division and keeps their undefeated streak alive. Any thoughts on the game, Gavin? None? None? Well, that will bring us to the end of the broadcast here this evening. I'd like to say thank you to all our viewers on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you to the Dominic. Oh, what? Boy, them and me running my movie for no free, boy.